Hello friends. So today we are starting with the new topic, that is service costing. Now all the topics dealt in methods of costing so far, they related to product costing. Some tangible item was getting produced. A building got produced in so many years in contract costing. Petroleum, oil, coal, through various processes it got produced in process costing. Many other items in batch costing, unit costing, job costing. So many different methods you have done, but in all of the methods the common thing was that a product was getting produced. Now in this topic you will not get a tangible product, you will get a service. We want to do pricing of that service. We want to create cost statement of the service, and by adding profit to the total cost, we will get the charges to be taken from the customer for the service. There are many industries in this. The first industry we start today is a transportation industry. Now in transportation itself, there are two categories. One is related to passengers and one is related to cargo. Today's main concepts will revolve around passenger costing. So what you are going to do, you are going to have transportation industry, in this passenger and cargo. What we are starting today is passenger transportation industry. What basically I am going to teach you today. When I go in a public transport bus or any private bus for that matter, I get into the bus, the conductor comes to me, he asks me, where you want to go? I tell him, I want to go at this place. He will give me a ticket and take some money from me. How did they calculate the amount to be charged from the passenger? That is a key thing you will understand in this topic. Different passengers going to different places, different distances are charged differently. How the charges are computed at their back end, that is what you are going to understand in passenger transportation industry. To make the things more easy, I am taking one example. I have created one example which will help you understand the new cost unit that you will do in this topic, called passenger kilometers travelled. You all know kilometers travelled, but today you will be told about passenger kilometers travelled in detail. So let's understand an example which will help you understand the basic concept. Let us say I decide to get into the business of transportation. What I do, I buy one bus. I am starting my own bus service. I am starting it from Chandigarh to Amritsar. My city is Chandigarh, so I am starting the bus service from Chandigarh to Amritsar, the holy place of Punjab, which is very well known for its golden temple and many other things. Now, what is the distance between the two cities? The distance is approximately 300 kilometers one way. If I go from Chandigarh to Amritsar, approximately it is 300 kilometers. If I am going there and coming back, it will be 600 kilometers. My bus is going to go from Chandigarh to Amritsar, carry the passengers there, take charges from them, and return also different passengers, different tickets sold, and will be coming back to its own city. Now, I have planned that the bus will run 3 days in a week. Earlier, I used to have alternate day classes. So 3 days in a week is my habit. So the bus will also be run in the same manner, 3 days in a week. Sunday off. Maybe Sunday working, some other 2 days, it makes 3 days in the week. How does it run? 40 weeks in the year. In full year, how many weeks are there? 52. The bus will not run all 52 weeks. There has to be some time gap given for its regular repairs and maintenance. And maybe there are some off seasons like exam days. In those weeks, the bus will not run because otherwise it will run empty. I don't want it to consume petrol without getting the revenue from the public. So 40 weeks in the year it will run. I pre-decided all the schedule. There is one round trip in its working days. Whenever it works, it is round trip on the working day. For example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It will have a round trip. It will go to Amritsar, 5-6 hours, 2-3-4 hours rest there, then will come back the same day. Next day is a rest day. Tuesday it will not run. Wednesday same. Thursday rest. Friday same. 2 days rest. And 40 weeks out of 52 weeks in the year it will run like this. This is the example that we are going to study. We are going to make cost sheet related to this bus. There are two types of cost broadly. Variable cost, also called running expenses, and fixed cost called standing expenses. The running expenses, primarily the best example, fuel cost. Petrol, diesel, LPG, CNG, whatever it is based at, whatever type of bus is there. The fuel cost will be prime variable cost. Some more oil cost can be variable cost, some more oil cost. Anything which is dependent on kilometers run. In 12 weeks when it does not run, the variable cost will be zero. Will not be any variable cost. Fixed cost is a period cost. It depends on period. Salary of mechanic, driver, conductor. Even if bus does not run, they will get salary. Salary of cleaner. Garage rent. Lots of other costs. Anything which is dependent on per month, per annum, per quarter, that is a period cost which is a fixed cost. I need to estimate all the cost. My first focus is variable cost. For variable cost, I need kilometers for the year. So I take the example further. I want to compute annual kilometers with the help of data which was given. Now concentrate on that. One way 300 kilometer. One trip 600 kilometer, and one trip means here one working day also. One working day is one trip, which is 600 kilometer. In 1 week, 1800 kilometer. How did I get? In 1 week, 3 days. In my example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days in a week, 1800 kilometer. How many weeks in the year? That year working, 40 weeks. 1 year is 72,000 kilometer. How did I get this 72,000? This is 1800 multiplied by 40 weeks. Don't multiply by 52 because you are not working 52 weeks in the year. Now let us say you are told further, kilometers I have got 72,000 kilometer. If any cost is, let us say 50 paisa per kilometer, that cost will be annual 36,000. 2 rupees per kilometer, that cost will be 1,44,000 for the year. Very simple computation. Diesel is given in a different way. Let us try to analyze how. Question tells me average of bus 10 kilometer per liter of diesel. This is told by question. Till this was question. This is also told by question. Average of bus is 10 kilometer per liter of diesel. So how much diesel will be consumed? 7200 liter. Rate per liter of diesel will be again told by question. This is again told by question. 50 per liter. So I got cost of diesel 3,60,000. Very easy computation. First compute kilometers in the year. Then analyze it with the help of what? Average of the bus. The kilometers per liter you have to divide. There can be some bakwas bus, useless bus. It says 2 liter per kilometer. Reverse. Normally it is kilometer per liter. It tells 2 liter per kilometer. Then you multiply. So don't have any rectification in your mind. Compare them properly. Normally it is divided by, but if it tells you different unit of measurement, it tells you liters per kilometer, then you have to multiply. In some question in ICWA, this was like this confusing unit of measurement. So you have to be careful here. In all your questions it is divided, but still read it properly. So I can get the cost of diesel. I want to go little further. In same example, let us say I compute total annual cost 36 lakh, including diesel, driver salary, conductor salary, cleaner salary, depreciation of bus, every cost included, total is 36 lakh. It is cost. I am not doing it on charitable basis. I have to add my profit margin also. So I add my profit margin. I have decided there will be a profit of 1/3 of revenue. Revenue is also known as takings here. 1/3 of revenue. 1/3 of revenue means half on cost. So that becomes half of 36 lakh, 18 lakh. So takings, total amount I want to take from the passengers in the year is 54 lakh. If I earn total fare, total revenue, total takings amounting to 54 lakh, I have recovered my cost and I have got my desired profit. How do you get 54 lakh? Should I write in my bus in big words, my annual target is 54 lakh, kindly donate generously? Will I be able to get 54 lakh in the year? No. Everybody will travel free of cost. Nobody will donate generously amounting to 54 lakh. What I need to do? Compulsory to take ticket. Passenger found without ticket will be fined 10 times the ticket price. You have to be strict. Then only you can get your revenue. My conductor must be knowing how much fare to be taken from each passenger, amounting to aggregate of annual 54 lakh. That is what I am looking for. So I need to find the fare per passenger. If I can get per kilometer per passenger, I can easily get the fare for each passenger by understanding how many kilometers he want to travel in my bus. So further question tells me this. Question tells one bus has 60 seats and its occupancy is expected to be 75%. Means on an average 25% seats are vacant. The vacant seats will not give me any revenue. Vacant seats, nobody will take ticket for that. So I should concentrate on occupied seats. Based on my past experience, I'll say 75% average. What is 75% of 60? 45. Does it mean every time the bus is running, there are 45 people traveling in the bus? Not every time. Sometimes 46, sometimes 44. sometimes 20, sometimes full 60. It is only an average figure for the purpose of determining the revenue. You have to take care of the average, but throughout the year, on an average, I am expecting 75% occupancy, means 45 occupied seats. Now concentrate here. If I divide revenue 54 lakh with 72,000 kilometer, I get 75 per kilometer. What does that mean? From the full bus, for every kilometer, I want to get 75 rupees. From the full bus, for every kilometer, I want to get 75 rupees. How many people are sitting there? 45. I expect occupancy to be 45 people. So I should take from every passenger for 1 kilometer 1.666. You need to importantly understand meaning of this. Revenue per passenger per kilometer means the charges to be taken from one passenger for traveling 1 kilometer in my bus. If I know this, passenger enters the bus. I say, where you want to go? He says, I want to go to Ludhiana. Not Amritsar, Ludhiana. And Ludhiana, I calculate, let us say, is 100 kilometers from Chandigarh. Just an assumption. How much should I charge him? I will charge him 166 rupees 67 paisa. 1.666 multiplied by 100 kilometer. Once I charge him appropriately, I am sure that during the year I will be getting the 54 lakh rupees revenue if my occupancy rate remains as I planned. If everything goes up to plan, I will be able to earn my 54 lakh rupees. Another person wants to go till Amritsar. 300 kilometer multiplied by 1.666. Whatever you get, charge him that. Normally there is no return ticket concept in buses. But if it were there, 600 kilometer multiplied by 1.666. So charging is not difficult. What I have done? Total cost, add profit, total takings. Divide by kilometer, divide by occupied number of passengers. I have got the revenue per passenger kilometer. This is not the way in which you will be doing the questions. I have done two things. After getting revenue, divide by kilometer, divide by occupied seats. I should do it in a different manner. This is what I have done. This is what you can see. This is what I have done. Total revenue from cost sheet, from cost statement, divide by kilometer traveled and number of occupied seats. Now this denominator is known as a new cost unit, passenger kilometers traveled. Somebody asks you what is the meaning of passenger kilometer. There is no meaning. In the context there is the meaning. When revenue or cost is divided by passenger kilometer traveled, we get revenue per passenger per kilometer or cost per passenger per kilometer. So denominator where number of kilometers traveled and number of occupied seats are multiplied is known as passenger kilometers traveled. Now I have a question, small question for you. Try to think over this question. Capacity 50, occupancy 75%. Capacity 50, occupancy 75%. How much number of occupied seats you will consider? Objective type, just like foundation exam. Is it 37, 37.5, 38 or none of these? Simple question to answer. 75% of 50 on calculator is 37.5. Will you consider 37 passengers? Lower approximation. Will you consider without approximation 37.5? or you consider upper approximation 38 or something else. None of these. I have a very simple answer to this. Your perfect answer should be 37.5. Your institute people, they might be approximating here and there. I don't agree. I don't agree with that solution. Do not approximate the occupied seats. Reason. Am I saying there will be 37 persons with one half person? 38th person comes, I murder him, I take half of him in the bus, half of that will come in next trip. No, not like that. Am I saying 37 adults and one child which will be half ticket person? Am I saying this? No, I am not saying this. I am not presuming anything like this. Then how do you take 37.5 persons in your bus? While going, there were 37 persons. While coming back, there were 38 persons. What is the average? 37.5. 37.5 is not that every time you have to take 37.5. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but average is 37 point, which is a theoretical calculation I am considering. So I should not necessarily take 37.5 in each trip that I am traveling. It is only an approximate average figure. Throughout the year, whatever passengers you take, the average of that is 37.5. So do not approximate is the key. Always keep on following it strictly and religiously, unless I tell you that you have to approximate for this reason. There is no reason to approximate here. So you will take 37.5. This is the key thing that I have told you. Revenue per passenger kilometer, total revenue divided by total passenger kilometers. So before I go on to the questions on passenger costing, I'll give you some summary steps that you can follow in all major questions of passenger costing. So you can write there. Summary steps for passenger costing. There is no need to write step number in the exam while doing the question. It is only for your learning purpose. Step 1. Make a cost statement for a specific period, annual or monthly. I'll prefer annual, but if question gives you monthly, I can take monthly also, to determine total cost for that specific period. Variable costs based on kilometers to be traveled. It can be miles, any unit of measurement for distance. So distance to be traveled, you will compute. Based on that, there will be variable cost. There is no specific need to classify variable cost, fixed cost, and some costs are semi-variable also. If question specifically requires, I can classify. Your institute module, they do classify, but sometimes they give confusion. So better not to classify, but I will compute on the basis of kilometers to be traveled all the variable cost. Step 2. Add profit margin to total cost to get total revenue, also known as total takings. So total revenue, which is your target, I'll compute in step 2. Step 3, calculate passenger kilometers traveled for the same period as kilometers traveled multiplied by occupied seats in a trip on average basis. Average occupancy basis. Instead of trip, you can write bus. So one example I have already done. In more questions, you will get it more. Step 4. Revenue per passenger kilometer is equal to step 2 divided by step 3. Step 5. Compute fare for any distance based on step 4 multiplied by distance. As I told you, the fare in my example for Ludhiana 100 kilometer was 100 multiplied by 1.666. That gives you fare for any distance. This is what you are going to apply in most of the passenger costing questions. I am starting with an illustration from Institute module. It is illustration number 2. Illustration number 1 is on cargo costing, which we will be doing later. So illustration number 2 is what I am looking at. Illustration 2, ICI module. It gives you passenger transportation company running 5 buses between 2 towns which are 40 kilometers apart. Seating capacity of each bus is 40 passenger. You are given the cost statement for the month of April 2007 or whatever period, whatever year is given. So cost statement I don't need to make. Cost statement given for a month. Question is wanting me cost per passenger kilometer. I need to divide cost per passenger kilometer is equal to cost for the month divided by passenger kilometers for the month. So I need to compute denominator only and be sure for the month. And month is April, having 30 days. Never forget that part. So what I am doing, I am first doing analysis for one bus. If I can get passenger kilometers for one bus, I will multiply with 5 buses which were traveling. I will get for 5 buses, because cost is for all buses. Cost is not per bus, cost is total for all buses. So passenger kilometer should be for all buses. For one bus, what is happening? Let's concentrate in the way I have taught you from the beginning. You are given each bus made one trip per day. One day. First one way. 40 kilometers. 1 day is equal to 1 trip is equal to 80 kilometers. 1 month, he says all 4 buses ran on all days for the month. He is now saying there are 4 buses. On the top he has said 5 buses. I am not very sure what he is trying to say. One of the statement is wrong. On the top he wrote 5 buses. At the bottom he says all the 4 buses ran on all days for the month. There is a misprint at the bottom for sure. According to the answer, there are 5 buses. So at the bottom it should be all the 5 buses. That will come later on. In 1 month, 30 days, 80 kilometers, 2400 kilometers. This is distance to be travelled in 1 month. Number of seats. Number of seats, 40 passengers in every bus. Occupancy, 75%. Number of occupied seats, 75% of 40, 30 passengers or seats. For 1 bus, passenger kilometers is equal to 2400 into 30. 2400 into 30. 72,000 passenger kilometers. Now, how many buses are there? On the top it was written 5 buses. At the bottom it is wrongly written all 4 buses ran on all days. So, it is not 4, it has to be 5 at the bottom. Total passenger kilometers for 5 buses. 72,000 into 5. 3,60,000 passenger kilometers. Cost is given, totaled 1,44,000. Cost per passenger kilometer, $1,44,000 divided by 3,60,000. This is 0.40. Means 1 passenger 1 kilometer is giving a cost of 40 paisa to the company. Add profit margin and you will get the fare per passenger kilometer. That is illustration number 2 of your institute module. Illustration number 3 there. This is a proper question because in this we need to create cost sheet also, add profit margin also and get passenger kilometers also. This is a proper 6 marks, 8 marks question from exam point of view. So, I am looking at cost statement. I must decide the period, and if question is silent, I normally make annual cost statement. The question wants only bus fare to be charged from each passenger. So, I need to make cost statement decisions on my own and compute the cost. Now, I will not classify the cost as fixed, variable, semi-variable. Directly whatever cost comes, I will keep on putting in the cost statement. There is something which is based on revenue. There is commission which is in G point. That will be treated separately with the help of some equation. Some algebraical equation will come, not difficult, very easy thing. But still it will be computed separately. First I will compute total cost other than commission. Then I will get commission, profit and takings. Let us make computation there. The bus cost company a sum of 10 lakh. Should I put full 10 lakh here? But that is a cost, one time cost. That is not at all annual cost. I should put depreciation on cost. Depreciation on bus. I need to read further items. If you read the full question, you will find in F point, the bus is likely to last for 5 years. And I think no scrap is given elsewhere. So 10 lakh on straight line method, divide by 5 years. Annual cost 2 lakh. Insured at 3% per annum. Insurance cost 3% of 10 lakh. 3% is per annum. So you need to put full. 10 lakh into 3%, 30,000. Annual tax. Tax is already annual, so I don't need to worry. I'm making it annual. Something will come monthly, quarterly. I'll make a change, but annual figure will come directly in the outer column. 20,000. Garage rent. Be careful. 2,000 is per month into 12. Outer column 24,000. So my outer column will be annual cost only. Nothing else other than annual cost. Repairs, they are given annual. 20,000. F point I have already dealt. G point, driver salary 3,000 per month again into 12, 36,000. Conductor salary 2,000 per month, 24,000 annual. In addition to 10% of takings as commission. Takings is revenue. Takings does not mean fixed salary. Takings of company, not takings of the person's driver conductor. So takings I'll get later on, 10% of that I can get later on. At this moment I can ignore it. I'll get total cost other than commission first. Then I'll talk about this again. Stationery cost. Stationery cost 1,000, but it is per month. 12,000. Manager cum accountant salary. Manager cum accountant salary. 7,000 per month makes 84,000. Thank God here he is earning more than driver conductor. In many questions he is shown as earning less than even a mechanic. But in this question I think maybe he is manager also. So he is getting more salary, 7,000 per month. Petrol and oil. 500 per 100 kilometers. I need working node for that. Working node 1. So at some distance I'll make working node 1. Petrol and oil. I need kilometers to be travelled in the year. Read question carefully. How many buses are there? Single bus, one bus. The bus will make 3 up and down trips carrying passenger on an average 40 km on each trip. The bus will run on an average 25 days in the month. In first line of the question, the route is given 40 kilometers long. Route is there. One way 40 kilometer. I always write like this. You will never get any problem if you start from basic. One trip 80 kilometer. In one day, the bus will make 3 up and down trips on an average. 1 day 3 into 80 kilometer, 240 kilometer. 1 month he says 25 days. 240 into 25, it is running 6,000 kilometer. Do I need 1 month? No, I need annual. The question does not talk about any month non-working. So it is working all 12 months in the year. 1 year, 12 into 6,000. 72,000 kilometers. You could do it anyway, but I feel it is always best if you start from basic and reach the ultimate. And I should compute petrol oil based on this. In another working note later on, I'll compute passenger kilometer also. That will come later on based on this kilometer only, 72,000 kilometers. Now concentrate on petrol and oil. Petrol and oil costs rupees 500 per 100 kilometer, implies 5 per kilometer. For 72,000 kilometers, 72,000 into 5, 72,000 into 5 makes 3,60,000. 3,60,000 is petrol and oil. It is written there, you must consider that carefully. 3,60,000. Must refer working note 1. This is important. For any question, you make proper working notes and make references also. If you don't refer, the examiner may not find it the best presentation possible. He may deduct 1 odd mark. And 1 mark at CA level is very, very important. So concentrate on this presentation part for sure. Now after petrol and oil, bus will make 3 trips, that we have done. Run on average 25, that we have done. 15% profit on taking, yet to be considered. Now I am going to get total cost other than commission of driver and conductor. So I should add them to get total cost other than driver and conductor commission. 2,30,000, 20,000, 24,000, 20,000, 36,000, 24,000, 12,000, 84,000, 3,60,000. I'm getting 8,10,000. Now what I want to do, I want to add commission. I'll get total cost, add profit. After adding profit, what I'll get? I'll get total takings. Divide by passenger kilometers. I'll get revenue per passenger kilometer. Answer. Now what I'll do, for commission and all, I'll make working note number 2. And for passenger kilometer, I'll make working note 3. So I concentrate on working note number 2. Let the total takings be X. I always love to do it algebraically. Basic algebra use 10th class question, nothing more than that. Concentrate on that, not difficult at all. Commission shall be 0.10x, profit shall be 0.15x. Profit is 15% on takings, commission is 10% on takings. This is a basic equation. Total cost plus profit is equal to takings. I can say total cost other than commission plus commission plus profit should be equal to takings. Now cost I have computed already, that is cost other than commission 8,10,000. 8,10,000 plus 0.10x plus 0.15x should be equal to x. 8,10,000 should be equal to 0.75x. If I get there, x is 10,80,000. X is takings. So commission 1,08,000 to be shared equally by driver and conductor. Profit is 15% on X. 1,62,000. Now I can fill my cost sheet. Cost sheet is complete. What I am getting? 1,08,000. 810 plus 1,08,000. 9,18,000 plus 1,62,000. I am getting is 10,80,000. Total takings 10,80,000. Now my working note 3 comes. I repeat what I have done. Let total takings be x, commission 0.10x, profit 0.15x. If all three are added, 8,10,000 plus 0.10x plus 0.15x should be equal to total takings x. From there I get value of x, 10% and 15% computed in working note 2 which I have done. Lastly, working note 3. Passenger kilometers travelled. Directly given number of seats occupied in a bus. On an average 40 passengers are travelling. So passenger kilometers equals 72,000 multiplied by 40. I am getting is 28,80,000 passenger kilometers. Put it in the main statement, you will get the answer. 28,80,000, 10,80,000 divided by 28,80,000. You are getting revenue per passenger kilometer rupees 0.375. You may find in your institute module they do 0.38. Don't approximate because you have to charge so many kilometers on this. Better not to approximate. 0.375 per passenger kilometer is the answer to this illustration number 3.